Welcome to this special edition of Forward DFW from the North Dallas headquarters of Arca Continental Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages, our local bottler and a company of Arca Continental, one of the largest Coca-Cola bottlers in the world. Hi everyone, thank you for joining us for Forward DFW together with the Dallas Morning News. I'm Ron Corning. And we're here at the North Dallas headquarters of Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages, Coke Southwest, and we're talking about this company's commitment to inclusion and diversity in a way that has made it a standout not only in this community, but nationwide. And speaking of inclusion, we have included the associates of Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages. They are not just employees, they are associates, and they are frontline heroes. And leading inclusion and diversity here at Coke Southwest is Michelle Burgess. She's the Director of Inclusion and Diversity, joining me now. Nice to have you, Michelle.
Nice to be here.
You are celebrating a one-year anniversary working as Director of Inclusion and Diversity, and I'm curious to know, as a woman of color, leading this department, having made your way through other companies, what are your impressions of how this company stands out from others?
Well, I think there's definitely a commitment to being people-focused. It's part of our cultural principles, and that really drives all of our initiatives. So before I got here, even without there being a specific person for inclusion and diversity, Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages was focused on people. And so the culture, the engagement is something that has been ongoing long before the title of a Director of Inclusion and Diversity arrived.
So they were mindful of it. It was happening.
Yes.
But you've brought sort of intention to it in a way. And one thing that seems very intentional is inclusion before diversity. Because we've heard of diversity and inclusion. We've heard of D&I. Explain to me why the difference here, that subtle difference, and why it makes such a big difference.
Well, that's a great question. I get that one.
I'm all about great questions.
Perfect.
Let's start with that.
Well, I get that one often. Yes, you're correct. It's usually diversity and then inclusion. But for us, inclusion is first because you start with where you are. So whatever you have now, wherever you are, you can start being more inclusive before you even move toward anything around representation.
I also think it's important that while you're building this workforce that's diverse and inclusive, you don't see employees as employees, they're associates, they're frontline heroes. You don't see customers as just customers either. They are members of very distinct and different communities, and you've given them a voice through Community Canvas. Can you explain what that is?
I can. Well, for Arca Continental Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages.
Say that a few times. Yes.
I believe that with the community, we serve 31 million of our friends and neighbors throughout the community. So even all across Texas, of course, Oklahoma, New Mexico, and parts of Arkansas, CCSWB has partnered with local artists all across Texas. And this is another way to represent the communities because we work in our communities, we live in our communities, and we serve in our communities. And that's a reflection of who we are. So through Community Canvas, the artists have been able to express what's important to them, which is important to us, for all of our associates and the community. So it ties together through across the months where we have partnered. So let's say we just finished back to school,
right.
Or for Hispanic Heritage Month, begins September 15th and goes through October 15th. Clarissa Martinez will be our artist for Hispanic Heritage Month. But what's great about it is that they're able to express themselves. They're often not very vocal. So this is another way to be visible and viable in the community.
Yeah, and not every artist feels confident to share their work, even if they're great. And this might be a way for them to say, I feel comfortable enough to share it and to express myself. I'm also wondering if among those young artists who might embrace this opportunity to share their artwork, if they might also be your future employees. They may say this is a company that cares about this community, and they may know somebody next door who works here. I would think that's part of kind of the network that you've created through both interior, or I should say inside the company, and with your community outreach?
Yes, because it's really important that in the community, people they want to see themselves, they want to be represented, and they want to be partnering with organizations that represent them. Yeah. So I think that really ties well together, just to ensure that we're even aligning with what's important to the community.
What has been for you internally some of the milestone moments in the last year where you've said to yourself, we're doing good, we've reached a milestone, this is a measure of success? Anything in particular come to mind?
We have a lot of partnerships, and there's been incredible efforts, even with supplier diversity. I'd have to, applaud the team and having been able to grow that more than 300% over the last couple of years. But I would definitely say that we just finished our Empower cohort, and it's our first female initiative where it's all females, and we had more than 60 female associates complete it. So what a great opportunity to connect with each other, to mentor each other, to learn with your colleagues on specific topics, all across the organization. And I'm just proud of them because they completed 11 learning sessions. So incredible commitment from the females.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because we are going to delve a little deeper into what exactly that empowerment female cohort workshop is really about, and how people can get involved, because people watching this may be inspired, if they're in a place in their own companies, to seek other opportunities, to say maybe that's the place for me. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to show you a number of initiatives that have been captured on video. One is called Side by Side, and what it really is emblematic of is that this company recognizes every employee, associate, frontline hero, if you will. They're also someone in their community, and the two are integrated. Take a look at that. We'll take a break, and we'll be back in just a moment with more.
This is where I live. This is where I live. This is where I give all my love, all my time, all my money, every day. This is where I live. This is where I give.
To learn more about career opportunities at Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages, go to OpportunityFizzes.com. CCSWB is part of Arca Continental, one of the largest Coca-Cola bottling companies in the world, located in Monterrey, Mexico. Welcome back, everyone, to Forward DFW. We are talking about inclusion and diversity here at Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages. The Director of Inclusion and Diversity, Michelle Burgess, continuing our conversation. And we left off talking about women empowerment and the Empower cohort opportunity that brings some 50 women leaders together. There are some companies out there who can't even say they have 50 women leaders, right?
Right.
How does that make you feel to know that those sorts of opportunities for growth exist in this company?
Well, I think one of the things, the feedback, when we just wrapped up, our first Empower celebration of the cohort, because all of the female associates, it was about 63 that completed it. They were able to come together after having 10 virtual sessions. And so I think the commitment for females to even just support each other is really important. And then we also had allyship, from males across the organization, really supporting the initiative.
What are some of the key takeaways? What are some of the, or maybe a better question is, what are some of the specific issues that women in leadership contend with anywhere that they might be? Is there anything specific that out of this particular year came to light?
We had a lot of discussion about communication and being able to really find your voice and be really comfortable, and being able to walk into the room and feel confident enough about the information that you're sharing, and being able to utilize your voice with each other.
Because this is traditionally a male-dominated business, right?
Yes.
The beverage business. You could say the same about so many other things, whether it be construction, the list goes on, of businesses that we tend to say, well, that's not for me. And we know there's been a movement for young women with STEM and so forth, STEM and STEAM, to get more young women involved with the arts and with engineering and math. Do you feel like in key ways this company is setting an example for others who may be struggling to figure out how do we change the perception?
I do. We're definitely leveraging our voice in the communities. We have some new partnerships coming where we're going to focus on attracting, females to our industry. Oftentimes, people, if they think, oh, there aren't many women there, why would I go there? But we know that there are many qualified women out there that should be able to join our organization. And then we'll focus on retaining the women that come and join us through their growth, through their development. And we'll continue to pour into them.
It is interesting when you're one of the only women in a male-dominated business.
Absolutely.
Who's going to be the first, right? And if their experience is not a positive one, they're not going to bring along anybody else.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Doesn't it also start, though, earlier than that with the way in which colleges and universities are recruiting for certain programs which allow people of color, women, and so forth, anybody who's marginalized to feel like this business is for me, but you need the training leading up to it?
Yes.
Where do you see that? Where do you see that component of it now when it comes to education and preparing future students? Because it even, starts earlier than that. It starts from the time you're little to say, what do you want to be when you grow up?
It does.
Right?
It does. I think that organizations have to continue to have programs that you're sourcing further. Your reach has to expand because there are many qualified people in many underrepresented groups that just haven't had the opportunity to walk through the door. Yeah. But I do think that it matters, probably just coaching, educating, raising the awareness at a much younger age.
I want to talk about the efforts this company takes to recognize with individual associates their strengths, their passions, and making sure that there's a good fit there, because as I understand it, there's room for movement in this company, not just up,
right,
but to experience other sectors or parts of it, or cross-train, I guess would be the appropriate term. What does that look like?
That's a great question. We had a lot of discussion about this even through the Empower cohort, because your career path, it isn't necessarily always up the ladder. It could be across the lattice. But one program in particular that stands out to me is the CDL Academy. So we have been able to, there are associates that have gone through our CDL Academy. We've
Commercial driver's license.
Yes, there you go.
Yes, I learned that today, that I'm going to be enrolled in the CDL Academy.
Right. That's right.
Especially when you see the big red truck promotion, which is coming up. You'll want to be part of it as well, or maybe go to Broadway. I don't know which of the two you'll be more inspired to do. But no, that's a very important part of it. So you have employees here who will express an interest in maybe getting into commercial trucking.
Yes, and it's been phenomenal. We had about 78 associates that have completed it so far through, I'd say, we've had three graduating classes for the CDL Academy.
So as all these companies face challenges of finding drivers, which we know, you hear the ads on the radio, I mean, it's a challenge. You all have created an ecosystem, if you will, an environment where you can recruit from within your own ranks.
Yes.
Right, and also train them. And I think that's part of the bigger theme that's emerged here as I've seen more of your company, and that is this idea that play your part. What's your strength? How can you best play to it? So we're going to show you that spot, which is also now running. You can find it online. We're going to share it here as well online. And we're going to talk more about how playing your part in this company is very important. We'll be right back. All right, everyone, we are back here with Forward DFW, and our folks from Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages are joining us, and Michelle Burgess is the Director of Inclusion and Diversity. We were talking about play your part, find your strength, know your superpower. This is a company that, from a 30,000-foot view, you look at it, you've got people who've been here 50 years and been here for, well, is this anybody's first day? Okay, not here, but there are people who might be starting their first day somewhere in this company. I think that speaks in great part to what this company stands for.
Yes. We have associates that have been here. Well, there are some that just started Tuesday. They probably went to orientation, so maybe 2 days, a couple of days. And we also have those that, recently someone retired and they'd been here, 59 years. We have 5 generations currently in our workforce, at the same time. And
that reflects inclusion and diversity as well, because ageism is a real thing.
Yes, it is.
Right? And not recognizing somebody's contributions after a certain age, we know is an issue. Not an issue here, really, when you consider that those with experience are still contributing in very, very meaningful ways. I want to circle back, because I touched on it a little bit. Big red truck. You'll understand when you see it why I said, will you be inspired to drive a truck or head to Broadway? So you commissioned this promotion, which is essentially a music video, and we're going to take a look at it and talk about it on the other side.
My big red truck, see me rolling down the road in my big red truck. Here comes the Coca-Cola. Got some birds are number one. I do my best till the job is done. In my big red truck.
I mean, it does get stuck in your head. My big red truck. Right, you got it? Have you memorized every verse?
I have not.
You have not, okay. It really is incredibly inspiring. Now, we should say that the spots you've seen to this point have been all associates. This particular one, only 4 actors though, right?
Right, only 4.
So the lead is not an associate.
Correct.
He's a rapper who acts, or an actor who raps, or a rapper who acts, however that goes.
Who knows?
But in any case, how effective has that been? It has played in theaters and does play in theaters periodically. How effective has it been?
It's been incredibly effective. The Big Red Truck rolled out, June 2023. CCSWB rolled out the Big Red Truck, campaign, and you're seeing it, in theaters, just as you would with any of our other ads. You can be driving down the road and you see, the Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages, across, anywhere. We're talking about how you're driving down the road and, hey, I know them. That's one of our associates. It's someone we've met before.
Well, I feel like you also have to be, you have to really love your company and be passionate about it to participate in something like that, right? It's not everybody who will give of their time and themselves and learn to dance. Those who couldn't dance, if you look closely, you're like, that person's trying really hard. They get an A for effort. Having been part of those kinds of promotions, believe me, I get it. I think that speaks volumes as well.
It does.
Yeah. So, well, that's effective for recruitment, which we talked about, the challenges of recruiting drivers. What about retention? Those folks who work for you, who might reach a point in their career where they want more, they want something different. What efforts are underway here that help you stand out from the pack?
Well, I think one of the greatest things that we have to recognize is really through the longevity, of associates. I mean, we've had people that have been in different departments. They've been in different roles. They've been in sales, they were in operations or in HR. I mean, there's just a lot of opportunity there. And so if you are, interested, you want to grow, there are a lot of people that are willing to help you, to mentor and coach. Just raise your hand.
Because at some places, there's a feeling that if I go to anyone and express that I may want to try something new, what you're really saying is, I'm not happy with this job, right? And if they don't feel you're equipped for that other job, they say to themselves, yeah, they're not really happy here. It can backfire. You all have put into place, it seems, a real structure and a means by which people can express a different interest and find a way to make it happen.
We have, and if you speak with anyone, even on our executive leadership team, they've been in different roles across the organization and will share their story. And I think it's really inspiring for someone to know that, hey, I was once, sitting in your seat, or they were driving the way that they were in those same shoes.
Yeah. Is there somebody that you would say is your mentor that you turn to for guidance?
I would say that I've been really fortunate since I've been here, just celebrating a year, that there are a lot of allies throughout the organization in different departments, and they're really willing to help you navigate just the organization. I've changed industry throughout the course of my career, and every time you come in, you're looking for those experts in all the different departments. So people have been really eager to support.
They've been giving.
Mm-hmm, very much so.
Yeah, and an ally, as you say, which is
Absolutely.
a little different than a mentor. Do you feel like you are a mentor to some young employees who are just starting and coming up through the ranks?
I do try to mentor. I think it's important. I think it goes both ways. It's important that I connect with someone who's younger and say, hey, this is the journey, here's the path, and let me help you avoid some of these obstacles as you're driving your career. And then it's also just as important for those of us, like me on the other side of this, to connect with young people and to learn from them, because we're all in different spaces.
Yeah. What would you say to a young person who may say to themselves, like we had said, well, I'm passionate about that, but that business isn't for a woman like me. That business is for a young man, not a young woman. You would say what?
I would say if there's something that you're interested in, then learn more and become an expert. I spent a lot of years in operations, and that was back when, HR, it was legal, right? We didn't have different layers. And so then when you decide, oh, I'm really interested in this, well, great, get a certification or, continue learning. There's so many opportunities for learning here at Arca Continental, Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages. There's lots of opportunities for learning. So I would say continue to learn, just continue to grow. And if you're passionate about it, find someone else that's in that role and say, hey, this looks like a role I might be interested in. Connect with them, because you might learn that, oh, that's not the role I thought it was.
Yeah.
Or maybe you find that it's something that's the path I'd like to go, and then put that into your path, your journey. But raise your hand and be sure that people know what your career aspirations are. You have to steer your own career. I think gone are the days where someone's just automatically going to tap you on the shoulder. I think you have to take ownership of it and make it happen.
Yeah, and that's a particular skill, right? To try to stand up and say, hey, I'm here.
Right.
Without bragging or seeming like you're entitled to something.
Absolutely.
Right? You just want to express a passion. And I always tell people that you don't know who helped that person get where they are.
Absolutely.
And by reaching out and asking them a question, they may want to pay it forward and help you make it to that next milestone. And certainly, I think if we've demonstrated anything, it's that this company from start to finish is one that is open to fielding questions, inquiries, and really enriching the community. And we appreciate
Absolutely.
the work that you do, Michelle. Thank you.
Thank you.
Michelle Burgess, Director of Inclusion and Diversity here at Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages. CCSWB. You can do the full title yourself. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you to our studio audience. We so appreciate it. And as we wrap up this edition of Forward DFW together with the Dallas Morning News, we want to leave you with this, a full look at the music video, Big Red Truck. Take care, everybody.
5 a.m., crack of dawn. Grab my keys, cause I'll soon be gone. Clock in, say hi, take a look at the route. Check the truck thoroughly before I head out. I'm on the road, I'm on the case. Smile on my face, bringing the product all over the place. I got my cool lift for when the job gets heavy. Engines on, I'm ready.
In my big red truck, see me rolling down the road. In my big red truck, here comes the Coca-Cola. Customers are number one. I do my best till the job is done. In my big red truck.
Woo! Pull up to the store, they all say hi. I put the bottles in the fridge, stack them one at a time. We got Sprite, Monster, Fanta, Coke, Zero. I'm slinging cases like a superhero. But it's all about the people that you meet on the way. It makes my day. Honestly, I have to say it's hard work, but the hard work pays off. So I be sipping Coca-Cola on my days off.
In my big red truck, see me rolling down the road. In my big red truck, here comes the Coca-Cola. Customers are number one. I do my best till the job is done. In my big red truck.
Hey, I said CSWB. That's the job where I'm meant to be. I said CSWB.
Here comes the Coca-Cola. Customers are number one. I do my best till the job is done. In my big red
Truck.
To learn more about career opportunities at Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages, go to OpportunityFizzes.com. CCSWB is part of Arca Continental, one of the largest Coca-Cola bottling companies in the world, located in Monterrey, Mexico.